welcome to Wolves After Dark.
In the afternoon.
In the daylight. Timberwolves win the last game of the season miraculously. Through thrown punches at teammates, through punching brick walls and breaking our hands.
All the adversity.
Through Ant going like 0 of 20 in the first 10 minutes of the game. And Karl-Anthony Towns nearly fouling out, but then hitting major threes. I mean, we just had like everything happen in this game. And if you're new here, subscribe. We do this after every game. And apparently we're going to at least one play-in game, if not the playoffs. Right. We have a lot to talk about today. We're going to try to talk about the Rudy punch. We're going to try to talk about the Jaden effect. We're going to try to talk about the game itself. And we're going to try to talk about there's too many things. I can't stop thinking of things that we're going to talk about. So it's just the weirdest game ever, weirdest team ever. As
Dane Moore. No, is that Dane Moore? Am I listening to Dane Moore?
That is Dane Moore. But it's very true. I mean, this was just out of control in every possible way. I guess, what do you want to start with?
Let's start with what led into today. We dominated last night. It was feels good. Everyone had their spirits up. The vibes were high. Rudy Gobert talks about, Kyle can get a little aggressive in his what he wants, but it's all out of passion. It's love, and he's doing it for the right reasons. That was foreshadowing for today. And, good energy coming today. However, 24 hours elapsed. Apparently they were up late talking about Call of Duty nonsense. And, maybe like, how do you prepare for a back-to-back afternoon matinee game when the entire season is not about that? It's crazy. Game 82 in the most important game of the year in the NBA, because it determines so much. And they put us on. They don't put us on national TV.
Yeah,
they put this Jazz Lakers game,
which meant nothing almost.
Meant nothing.
I mean,
they put the Golden State Warriors and Portland Trailblazers on national TV.
Yeah,
and they were like, "What? Let's go up by 70."
Yeah, something like that.
And then the Timberwolves show up. They get their their fashion cam on. The press gets their breakfast.
Their post-game
shoot around. Yeah, the post-game pizza. The shoot around looks good. Everyone has. It looked like the start of a great game.
Mm-hmm.
What happened during the game, Cameron?
Well, we started atrocious to the point where I thought the season was over in the first quarter.
Yeah.
It was bad. We went down, 26, 28 to 13, something like that?
Well, it was 30 to 18 at the end of the first quarter, but it felt like it was double digits like the whole quarter.
Yeah.
Like in the matter of just like 2 or 3 minutes, we were down by like 8 or 9, right?
It felt like 20 points for most of the first quarter.
Yeah. And Brandon Ingram killed us. Like Jaden was on him, Ant was on him. We had no answer in the first quarter at least. He had 20. He had more points than the freaking Timberwolves.
Yeah. Yep, he had 21 in the first quarter.
Gobert was a non-factor except for a dunk, I think. Jaden had 2 early fouls. No offensive flow whatsoever. We injected Taurean Prince and Kyle Anderson pretty early. Mm-hmm. And that was signs to come that those 5 are going to play the chunk of this game. And we had no idea.
Yeah, yes. This is just so crazy. Yeah. I can't wrap my head around this game. It felt like a lot of different games too. Like you're saying, I mean, we're talking about the first quarter, and like that felt like a day ago because this actually, I don't know how long this game was. It probably wasn't too long. I guess.
It was like normal length,
but it felt so long to me anyways. Like the first quarter was its own beast. The third quarter was its own beast. I mean, and you had just totally flip-flop performances from people because like, I know we talked about in the Discord. I somewhat have disagreed with what you said in the Discord. Actually, at a point, you said Ant isn't focused or locked, or I can't remember what word you used. I thought he was focused, but he was just off. Like he was aggressive, but in all the wrong ways. It was just awkward aggressiveness where like it wasn't like powerful drives. It was like how Karl Anthony Towns does like a Euro type deal.
Yeah.
And he was like typical, like the things that we have seen from Ant in the past where he just loses the ball.
Yeah.
And it was like he was engaged just in all the wrong ways.
Yeah, totally. And maybe that's what I meant to say, but like he was looking for his shot. He was Chuck happy, trigger happy. He wanted whatever Ingram was on, whatever drug Ingram was on. He wanted that same like kind of tit for tat. And it was kind of like it was kind of like Ant versus Ingram in the first couple minutes, but Ant had like 10 shots that he only needed 2 of them, right? He only should have had 2. Yeah. Cat was open several times. Yeah. He was driving into triple teams. He had 3 turnovers pretty early. He tried to pass it to Gobert. He doesn't pass it to Cat. Like just like that's why I said like he was there. He was mentally locked in, but like he was kind of in the wrong avenues. Okay, yeah. So decent quarter, but actually kind of atrocious quarter. It was very ugly. Like the calls were kind of going in 2 directions. Like it was very hard for us to get calls, and it was very easy for the Pelicans to get and ones, and just just easy transition buckets. They were killing us on the glass, dude. It's literally 4 games in 1 game. It was really because they dominated us so hard in the first quarter on the boards, and we have the big lineup. We have the 2 bigs. Isn't that insane for me? Like it was so hard for me to understand that. And moving into the second quarter, Trey Murphy pops off. CJ McCollum kind of shows up a little bit, and we just had Conley. Like we literally had Conley and Taurean Prince. Isn't that like those are not the 2 players that you'd suspect to like carry us in the second quarter?
Certainly not.
Yeah, bizarre. Halftime happens. Red Panda. Should we talk about Red Panda for a second? Because whenever Red Panda performs in halftime, it carries us.
It's going to be stuck in my head for months now.
Something happened in the locker room, and we were not, subject to it.
I wish we were. I
know. I think there needs to be cameras everywhere because this is like a WWE now. Like it's basically ref like one. We just want to see all the drama all the time because this team has nothing but drama on
this. This is what movies are made of.
Yeah. Someone in the Discord, shout out to the Discord, said this should be a 30 for 30 game. Like this should be a documentary about this game because there was so much inside it.
This game legit could have its own 33 for 30 episode. It's crazy.
Ingram popped off for 27 in the first half. We had a couple of people in double digits, and that would be Conley and Towns, but Towns had, early foul trouble and everything too. Third quarter, something happened at halftime. Not even 20 seconds in, you're noticing something. And that's because Gobert had a scuff with Kyle Anderson leading into halftime. Mm-hmm. And Jaden McDaniels, when he was pulled, he went into the locker room because he was bleeding all over the court from some reason. And he decided to take that same hand and punch an effing wall, a concrete foundational wall, breaking his hand, Kevin Love style. But I guess it wasn't knuckle push-ups. Sorry.
It wasn't knuckle push-ups. That's true. But we should show it because we've got the tab here.
We've got the feed.
Yes. So let's pull it up. Let's see if it's working. Currently is not. There we go. Okay. Here.
This is the Gobert.
This is the Gobert. So yeah, sorry, I've got the Gobert one pulled up first. So here's the scuffle between Gobert and Kyle Anderson.
He's hot. Wait, that's the end of it. And now he has a replay. Gobert was ass, by the way, in the first half.
He
was so slow.
Boom. And then he backs away.
He backs away like a
immediately. Like
he was Easter egg hunting.
Dude, that's like crazy.
Yeah.
So there's the first thing that happens. I mean,
he was letting Jonas cook, dude. That was the stupidest thing that I saw. Is like you should just box out Jonas. You should just guard Jonas. Like I don't think he was doing anything.
I wish I knew what this conversation was.
I know. The Pelicans are a mid-range team. The Pelicans don't do a whole lot in the paint. They are a mid-range team. And the fact that they were getting to the rim, getting and ones, like that's on Rudy. Rudy with the, sag off drop coverage, not doing anything. He was so slow. This is Kyle professing his frustration and like to the degree which we are siding with Kyle on this every day of
Oh,
the
for
week.
sure.
And
1,000.
like even the little trainer, the female trainer here, like she understands like what's about to happen.
Yes. Yeah.
And she just gets shoved out of the way. It's so sad.
This deserves its own like slow-mo. Oh, that's perfect. Slow-mo breakdown.
Yeah.
So like we see all this, and Cat clearly here knows what's happening. His head is way down, and he's like, I'm not paying attention.
Oh, we should do a Windows concept thing. Pause it here. Pause it here. Let me draw a little circle. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Now, clear. This is the only thing that I have been able to lip read is watch Kyle, because Kyle says, "You a bitch." And then Rudy doesn't like that. And then he says it again. And then TP, look at TP though. He's like, no, I'm about to throw hands with you.
Shove off.
Like,
yeah, dude.
This is crazy.
Wow. Oh my god. Whoa. I actually didn't even see that part. I was too like beside myself over Gobert's punch. Kyle goes at him. Kyle comes back at him.
Uh-huh.
Dude, I wanted to see another punch back.
I think there was going to be if people didn't stop him.
And he runs away. And the Timberwolves decide that Gobert, get the fuck out and go home. That's what they told him.
Mm-hmm.
In that moment, he goes to the locker room and they say, get the fuck out. Marion Balin goes accurate lip reading. You a bitch. That was so funny, dude. I did not know you were coming with that. That's so fucking good.
This is crazy, though. So that's that. And that's one whole thing, which we will discuss, I guess, in a second. But I do want to get to the Jaden punch, the second punch of this game.
Yeah, because also missing from the starting lineup in the second half was one all-team, first defense. Bad day promoted from the Timberwolves, Jaden McDaniels. And what the fuck was that?
This is just so dumb.
You should slow-mo this and let's lip read this one.
This person, like, this is my reaction right down here.
Yeah,
like,
she sees it happening. Like she sees it on her feed. No, don't.
I can't get over how stupid of a stupid of a thing this is for Jaden. Like, I know Jaden has like that fire in him, but like, man, you just can't let it happen.
Godfrey, this was in the first quarter.
Okay, this was the first quarter. I didn't even remember. Actually, I had no idea this happened. People kept talking about how stupid Jaden was, and I legit had zero clue. And when they talked about his hand being injured, I thought they were talking about when there was something earlier in the game, I thought, where like he was bleeding all over.
Valanciunas. Apparently he had a fingernail like ripped.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's crazy. But this was
yeah. Sorry, I'm not reading all of chat. I want to get to it. There's too much to talk about. I'm just verifying he didn't play a single second in the second quarter because this happened in the first quarter. Like with just a minute or so left and like a couple minutes left in the first quarter. He was pissed that he was pulled. He was pissed that he got a second call, like second foul. By the way, that second foul was such a dumbass foul by him. Like boxing out Larry Nance Jr., but then he pushes Larry Nance Jr. Like, please, refs, call the dumb foul on me. Gerald, Jaden McDaniels is out for the season.
Is he out officially for the season?
You said it. Like you said, Shams and Woj tweeted this.
They just said he broke his hand.
Well,
I mean, I don't know if he's out for the season. I don't know how long.
One hand.
Well, like, I don't know how long that takes to heal. Like, is that like? I mean, I would assume a broken hand is like probably talking 6 weeks minimum.
Yeah.
But I don't know that.
Oh, dude. So he could come back in the conference finals. I don't mind that. Or if we could, like, stretch a series to 7.
Yeah. We need to do that. And I think that probably will happen with any team that we play if we make the playoffs.
The chances are up in the air now. I wouldn't even give us a 50-50 chance anymore.
Mm-hmm.
The play-in game against the Lakers looks bleak. We'll get to that more later because we still have a second half to talk about because holy crap, oh, what a half that became.
Yeah.
Because we had Wendell Moore play. We had Nate Knight play in the most meaningful game of the season. We were scrapping for a time to give Ant play the entire second quarter. Ant plays literally the majority of the third quarter. He can't be taken out, but he's so gassed. He's so gassed. And 8 turnovers in his box score probably prove it that he's there, but like mentally he's trying to do a little bit too much, right? Even the last minute of the game, he turns it over, but he recuperates for like one of the coolest fucking plays in the game. But like, still,
yeah.
This game had so many storylines, and I don't even know where to really break it down. But this is kind of a culmination of the season. The Gobert, Anderson, like, does the Twin Towers even work? Well, let's just have $50 million man go home.
Yeah.
And then let's have the 45, soon-to-be $50 million man get into foul trouble.
Yeah.
So, like, Ant's playing the 4. We go small, and, like, Kyle Anderson's playing the 5. And somehow we pull it together. And second half was crazy. We were not making a shot to save our life. We missed like 8 miserable free throws in that first half too. Like we were just awful from the free throw line. Most of it was Ant. And let's go into the third quarter here. And Ant scores 13. He pops off in the second half. He finds some like second wind.
Mm-hmm.
We get some, ridiculous play by Taurean Prince as well. We get a putback with 2 seconds to go by Wendell Moore, which proves to be a huge boon for us. Nate Knight comes in, gets like hacked with 3 or 4 fouls, but he has this insane, lay-in, which was so important for us because we needed to find offense from anywhere. Cat was gassed and in foul trouble. Gobert was nowhere to be found. Jaden was nowhere to be found. Like, you know what I mean? Like, where does our offense come from?
Mm-hmm. Man, I have too many thoughts. Like,
I want you to, take the mic here. Like, I'm kind of breaking down the game a little bit, but like, the third quarter, we turn it around because all that transition shit, all of those threes that were happening for New Orleans, that like didn't happen in the second half.
Yeah, and also like this is. So in the past, there was another game last year or 2 years ago, I can't remember now, where Ant just turned it on against New Orleans in the third quarter specifically. He was playing great defense. This is like the most the game that I'm referring to, not today. The most athletic that I have ever seen Anthony Edwards play was in the third quarter of that New Orleans Pelican game in like 2021, 2022. I don't remember. And he brought us back from being about, I think we were 15-ish points down. And it was crazy. Thank you, Marion. I appreciate it. Yeah, we will definitely clip that. But yeah, no, it's he turned it on today, and he willed this team into being back into the game. Ant did not have his bag tonight, but he made it happen through gross, like the plays that we were having were not fantastic plays. Like you mentioned it, we have the one where like at the end of the game where he gets the amazing block on McCollum, which was like insane. Like top moment maybe of the season. I don't know.
It's up there.
It is for sure up there. And then he goes down to the other side. He turns it over immediately.
Toss it up,
Puts it back up and gets the N1. So like, that's just what that was Ant's game tonight. He came out like strong, but missing frequently. And then after that, he's just trying to make up for it and just doing anything he can to make it work. And it worked in the end. He ended up with what, 26 points or something like that, which I just can't believe. But yeah, I mean, he did get some foul calls at the end. Thank God. But yeah, it's just The free throws were really even tonight, actually, between the two teams. 31 for us, 29 for them. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
They were 3 of 21 from 3.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, they just got shut down.
Yeah.
They shut themselves down too. Like CJ McCollum had an off night, but also like Brandon Ingram had it cooking like he was God, dude. So of course, other people who aren't in rhythm aren't going to be in rhythm when Brandon Ingram is taking the bulk of shots. So incredible. We haven't even talked about the fourth quarter, but like more than just like your play that you just talked about. But here's where Cat kind of took over. And I think it was so desperately needed because I think we were down 6 or 7 at this point. I think it was 4, and then he pulls it in within 1. We take the lead on his 3. We build a lead to 5 with his next 3. 3 threes, 1 from Mankato, like logo Cat came out. And it was like a desperate, it almost looked like, what are we doing here with that 3? But it was a hat trick. Like he got all 3 in, and it was sweet.
That was
go ahead.
It was just like having Cat. Like we've been begging for Cat to shoot more threes tonight, or in general. I don't think he shot that many tonight. Did he? He shot 8, which is better than he has been doing, and he made 5 of them. This is why you just need to have Cat shooting threes. He needs to think of himself as Klay Thompson. We said it the last time. Think of yourself as a spot 3-point shooter that can occasionally drive to the basket if needed. I know he had some post game trying to work it early in the game, but I don't know. It just always he that is only close to successful when teams are double teaming Ant, and then Cat can be on his own and post up one player, which still he struggles with posting up wings, posting up guards.
He was guarded by Josh Richardson and Trey Murphy for the third.
Yeah, so he's not
post him up.
He's not going up against the Jonases. He's not going up against those Steven Adams types. He's going up against the Chris Pauls. So it's that is not how I want to see it happen. Now, of course, if you can take advantage of it, like he should be able to take advantage of it, then I want to see that. But that's just not what happens all the time. We get offensive fouls. He holds the ball until there's no point of return, and he's doubled, and then the ball's stolen, traveled, whatever. So I just want threes. Ant can do the driving, get the foul calls, hopefully, like he did a little bit tonight. But that's just what we need. We need that ability for him to just space the floor, have gravity on the floor. You don't have that same gravity when you are posting up and getting pushed out to the 3-point line. That's just not what we need. So
definitely not what we need especially when the ball needs to move. The ball needs to move multiple times in every offensive set, I think, to get anyone in rhythm. And I think we need to get everyone having the ball in their hands. Mostly Conley needs to have the ball in his hands. So he can direct a lot of the flow. And we're getting a lot of ISO stuff with Ant, and I don't like it. It never really works out. It goes he was 10% with those ISOs, dude. He didn't do it the way that he should have. And the way he was driving the rim, not getting calls, that's why he was chucking a little bit too much. I thought so. And he needs to get his 3 going to get his post game, his drive game going. But sometimes it's the opposite that actually needs to happen. And his kickouts weren't great either. He missed Gobert out there because Gobert sets great screens for him. Gobert and him have a good chemistry with mostly Ant hoarding the ball. Cat has this insane ability to shoot on a dime, with or without rhythm, and he had this incredible play where he kind of drove through in transition. He drove through 2 defenders and had his awesome dunk. He has some killer instincts, but some of those instincts, when he holds the ball, when he dribbles between the legs, it does kind of stall our offense. And I would rather have the ball almost always in Kyle Anderson's hands or Conley's hands in those moments. Yeah. So he finds the right play, the player to pass to sometimes, but the double teams are scary. It's so scary because we don't really know what's going to happen when he has the ball in his hands, getting pushed out. With the double team, could be called a travel, could be a foul on them. They bailed us out a couple times with the foul on Larry Nance, I think it was.
Yeah, there was a Larry Nance one. We were bailed out a bit tonight, but also so were a lot of the shooters on not Portland. I was thinking CJ McCollum. New Orleans. There were just these terrible plays where they're driving to the basket and there's almost sometimes zero contact. and they're just like phantom calls. They're giving them to them, but yeah, no.
Yeah,
I mean, there really wasn't.
CJ has a good. Yeah, CJ does. He does his elbow shove. Brandon Ingram is like all about his forearm as well, and yeah, they get a lot of considerable calls for those types of offensively aggressive actions. We don't have that with Int yet, and maybe we need to look into that. But that's an off-season discussion. We're almost there in the off-season. Like we are potentially 2 games away from an off-season.
Yeah.
We won this game by like the fucking hairs on our ass, dude. Like it was. I don't know how we pulled this out. Enough separation with the threes from Cat, and they didn't retake the lead. I think they may have taken the lead back once, and a lot of heart from Ant and Conley and Prince and Slow-Mo. Incredible defense execution. Like they were one and done the whole time. And we did it with people that were gassed, man, and that's so commendable. I just have to like just tip my hat to the coaching staff for like finding something in our team and going to the right players at the right time. It was incredible.
Do we have any? Yeah. Do we have any post-game interviews from anybody yet, or no?
Well, we probably have gone live long enough that there's probably something.
I'm
not
seeing anything yet.
Yeah, maybe I haven't.
I'll go to Bally. Okay, yeah. Kyle Anderson, after incident with Rudy Gobert. We have to watch this.
Ooh, let's watch this.
Okay, let me share. There's an ad currently. Let's go here.
Yeah, Solidity. Sorry that we're missing a lot of chat. Like, honestly, you guys have had some really cool comments, especially, Beat LA. That's going to happen. But, okay. This is absolute fact. Cat is a perfect teammate for Ant. I totally agree with this. I just want to say that. But let's go to this.
Oh, yeah. Kyle Anderson, what does he say?
Ain't no reset. I'm locked in on winning the game. That's what I woke up in the morning thinking. That's what I came to the arena thinking. So, I mean, ain't nothing going. I'm too mentally tough for anything to get me off the path of walking out of here without the win. I want to win the game. That's what I'm set my mind to.
You think it refocused you guys? Maybe almost like energized.
I mean, it's possible, and you've seen that happen, numerous times in games where guys get attacked and their team goes on a run. Who knows? I mean, we were able to come together, and I'm happy we did.
This team has dealt with a lot of these injuries. It's been healthy so rarely this year. Now it looks like you might have to go forward without Jaden.
Mm-hmm.
How do you guys get over that hump?
I mean, ain't nobody gonna feel sorry for us, or it is what it is. Next guy got to be ready to be ready to go. Nikhil and Peasy played well tonight. We have the utmost faith in them. It is what it is. Next guy got to be ready to go.
The bench was instrumental.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we trust whoever could go out there. I mean, I think 1 through 15, everybody puts the work in, everybody's bought in. So whoever has to go out there, we're ready to roll with them.
Kyle, might be more minutes at 3 now versus it's been a lot of the 4
this year.
What does that change for you, if anything? What's different?
I gotta watch some film on Jaden and see what our threes do. I'm not even sure at this point. I just gotta really look into it. It shouldn't change much though, but I haven't played the 3 in years. It's been a minute, so I just gotta do my homework and be ready to go. I could play any position out there.
Thoughts on the Laker matchup?
It's gonna be a good one. Watch some film, prepare, get ready, and then let's go do it.
How when you see Ant playing defense the way that he did on BI, on CJ Lade, like what do you think? What does it say about a 21-year-old coming in with those kind of plays for you guys down the stretch?
It's like he could do that all game, every night, night in and night out. I've seen that all year. I know how good defensively he is. I think we just got to challenge him on being better all the time defensively and not just pick his spots, but he's hell of a defender. Obviously, he has the physical skills and he's gifted in that aspect. So, we need that from him. That's big. He was big time tonight. Huge.
Do you see other teams adjusting to you guys more than maybe like vice versa at other times?
Yeah, I think putting their small on him. I think I seen the Clippers do it last year. We ended up doing it in the playoffs last year. I guess they think that bothers him, but he did a good job of getting to his spots and coming up big for us.
How do you think this is something you and Rudy can get past and
Oh yeah, it is what it is. We move forward. We want to win games. It is what it is. I mean, it ain't the first time someone has swung on me. It is what it is. We keep it in house.
Yeah. Is that, do you think you've always been a vocal leader? Is that just kind of go with the territory a little bit challenging?
I mean, I think our temper's just flared.
Yeah.
That's all. It is what it is. We'll speak about it and move on. We grown men. It is what it is. Let's move on.
Washington homeowners. Look,
Washington homeowners.
Always.
Okay, so that was something. He's incredible. He's an incredible post-game get for sure. His voice speaks so much louder than most people. Honestly, this is an incredible video. We need to see this too.
Yeah.
But, I just want to say one thing that he did bring up was it could have sparked something in us.
Yeah. Yep.
Because like Ant was swallowing his pride. It felt like he was just chucking, but like not engaged.
Mm-hmm.
Cat was in foul trouble. Like TP was like one of the only ones that was doing things off the bench, and this probably sparked something. Like we have to dig in with these players now. Like listen, gather out. Like this is the only people that are playing. We have to pull it together. And maybe this galvanize our team a little bit.
Apparently, this is a video of Woj saying what was said between the two of them.
How the fuck would he know?
Apparently, he knows.
This guy is just garbage.
I'm told that the back and forth was about first Anderson telling Rudy Gobert, hey, why don't you block some shots? Gobert telling him, why don't you grab a rebound? And then it escalated from there. I'm told that the back and forth.
This guy is a fucking TMZ.
This is so awful.
Yeah.
God, I hate Woj.
He's so dumb.
Shams on top. Man. Crazy. What a day. I can't get over this stupid day.
What is this comment? We gotta cross our eyes next time we see slow-mo. But slow-mo is like Ben Simmons, I guess, in a little bit. It is what it is, as Nathan Grilla says. We get to play free basketball, apparently. Game 83. I don't remember when it is. I think it's
I don't. That's what I was going to try to look up, but then
Wednesday.
I don't know when this means anything. Mike Conley says Rudy Gobert has already sent a message to the group chat apologizing for his role in the altercation. Wow. Wolves seem like it's a team ready to move forward.
I'll get out.
Probably. Also, the KG tweet, he said nothing like a little scuffle to tighten up the screws before the playoffs. That's great. That is a great tweet.
Good job, KG.
Man. Wow. Well,
yeah.
do we want to do the tier list now? That's a way to talk about the game, kind of.
Yeah, I feel like we can do that.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Bada boom, bada tier list.
Yeah. By the way, like the stream if you're new here, or even if you're not new here. I don't ever say that. You should like the stream.
Do whatever you want to do.
No, like it.
But also do this.
Anyways.
Comment below.
Yeah.
On what would you do with your right hand?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Put that in the comments, please. We'll see what
because we got a punch through to Kyle Anderson. Got a punch through at a concrete wall.
Knuckle push-ups.
If you were in that situation. Yeah. What someone posted in the comments, like, what was Jaden thinking? What was he like so mad about? It was probably the benching, but it was probably how much Ingram was just popping off and how we weren't able to contain him.
I think it was also just, it was for sure him. I mean, he was the team. Like, Ingram was the team for them in the beginning of the game. So I think it was just a lot of frustrations because the beginning of the game, as all of us can attest, felt atrocious. Like we were all down so bad. And, Brandon Ingram is an incredibly infuriating player to play against because he is ridiculously good. And he can pull up from any range and just drill it. Even if he almost works a little bit better if you have a hand directly in his face.
Yeah.
Like he lives for that. So I think that is super frustrating to especially somebody like Jaden who does take pride in his defense. So but still I just you just can't get that mad. I can't really say anything though, because like I know there's been situations like this where like I'll be playing a video game or something, and I'll just like smash, like I haven't done this in a very long time, but I have done it. I even as an adult slammed my hand on a table.
Yeah.
So I get it, I do get it. But it's like, man,
Same.
you just gotta you just have to be better than this. You can't do it to the point of injuring yourself. Like what?
Oh, excessively immature, but he is super competitive. So, I love Jaden McDaniels. However, this was the dumbest thing you could have possibly done. There was so many other things you could have done to vent, to get out your anger, and to be frustrated about something. But you decided to. And I don't even know what this means. Like a broken hand coming back into you're not coming back this season.
Yeah.
But next season, how does it feel? Like now you have an injury to now recoup, to deal with. Like
it's so bad.
That it could be re-triggered.
It's just the worst. You can't do that thing.
Yeah, the game that mattered the most.
I'm allowing myself to say bad things about him now that he's hurt. Anyways, who do you want to start with on the tier list?
Well, we have so many people to thank. Wendell Moore's Jr. an A for giving us 2 points on a putback for 4 seconds, 2 points. That's the most points per second we'll ever see.
Sorry, I'm getting them up there. Boom. Yes, I 100% agree. I mean, like coming in and making that bucket is huge. And at the end of the third quarter, they were like, Jim Pete and Grady were like, Remember this. Yeah. And guess what? It was a close game. And if we don't have those extra 2 points, when we go back and forth with them a little bit, especially after Ant steps out of bounds with 3 seconds left or not 3 seconds left, but with only a 3-point lead.
8 seconds left. Yeah, totally.
Like I forgot about that.
It could have been a 1-point lead.
We could have so easily Timberwolves this game away, and we didn't. But man, like they had their opportunity, and then he nearly fouls Trey Murphy Jr. shooting the 3 when they're down 3. Holy crap, I can't think about it.
Crap.
Anyways, yes, it was just, I mean, like if we don't have those 2 points from Wendell Moore Jr., and those are like a 2 hard points to get. Like you don't get putbacks off of missed free throws often. And he's a rookie who hasn't played at all this year.
Yeah, so 50 games.
That's definitely an A. So that's a huge bucket.
Yeah, Nathan Knight, I was going to give him an A, but he 3 fouls in a minute and a half was a little bit egregious.
One was bad.
One of them was offensive. It was a screen that shouldn't have been even set in the way that he did. I just think it's because he's out of practice. He hasn't played in forever.
We've been putting Garza in all the time. So he has not played at all. What do we think? He's a B or a C? Expected, yeah.
But just that putback or that layup or whatever was awesome. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 3 points, but a positive 16. And also, when we needed a body on Ingram, on anyone, he was there. Trey Murphy didn't really pop off tonight. Ingram did, but McCollum got a second half, a third quarter strike. But he was our Jaden replacement, and I thought he did what was expected of him. I wish he was a little bit more set in his 3-point shot, because he took 4 shots. They were all threes, which is awesome. But all of them felt like they were not set. They were not set up threes. So I want to say expected, but we won. And also he was given a hand that he needed to play above expectations almost. I think a B for our boy Nickeil Alexander.
I think that's probably fair, because he had to step into a big role, and defensively he is surprising me on defense. He is still having some really bad plays. There was the one play near the end of the game, I think. It was a crucial moment, and he bumped into, I don't remember who it was, maybe Ingram, but it was an and one. And that
right.
Was
I think it was CJ.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then Ant was yelling at him right after. He was
remember.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
And that drove me crazy. And he still does have plays like that. But to be fair, so does Jaden. Jaden does that when he's out there too. So I don't know. I think I agree with the B still, just because this was a huge role for him to fill, and he's going to have to continue filling that role, because
he might even start.
Yeah, he might even start. No, it'll be Kyle Anderson.
I don't think so.
Really?
That would mean that Kyle Anderson, Karl Anthony Towns, and Rudy Gobert all playing.
Yeah.
3 of our most important players are on the court at the start, but like, what when we sub our players out? I don't think so. Nickeil Alexander is our 5th option now. You know, like, it kind of puts our. Anyways, that's my thought.
It could be. I don't know.
That would just be a very slow team. Also,
it would be really, really slow. I just know that they trust him, but at the same time, you're right. Like, he's going to be the 5th option, and he's shown that he can do a little bit of defense. So, like, maybe that does make sense.
I think typically Taurean Prince will come in for Jaden, and Cat and Slow-Mo sub in for each other. So even more like issues that we have to now discuss and look into and potentially even practice, right? Like subs. Who comes in for who now? It's so dumb. Fucking A, Jaden McDaniels. Baby Mac, I guess the only J Mac for the rest of the season. 5 points, 5 assists. He's 100% from the field, but he only made, he made a free throw and made his 2 free throws. That was clutch free throws, I would say, to extend the lead from 1 to 3, I think it was. I don't know how happy I am whenever I see him on the court, but he did no wrong today. So expected.
Sorry, Woj just tweeted something and we have to share it.
All right. We interrupt this broadcast.
I'm so sorry. This is just the
funniest. Just popping off. He's fucking slurping on. He's slurping
the
himself.
Funniest tweet. I thought it was Barry McCockiner, if you're familiar with their work, on Twitter, faking it. And this is what he tweeted. Minnesota Rudy Gobert escalated a verbal argument to a physical encounter after Kyle Anderson told him to shut the F up, bitch. And the disagreement started with Anderson telling Gobert to block some shots, Gobert telling him to grab rebounds, and ended with a punch.
And Gobert getting sent home. He's so drama infused, man.
Yeah, see, I thought it was very. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Ooh, okay, back.
Apparently, but Woj tweets himself. He says he responds in his own tweet saying Gobert later apologizes, right?
Yes, he says Gobert later sent an apologetic text to teammates in a group chat. We'll speak about it and move on, he said. We're grown men.
Okay.
I hate that. Okay. Anyway.
Such an L, dude.
It's both Woj and Rudy. What a day.
What a day, dude.
What were we talking about again? Sorry, before.
I don't know. This was just the most important game of the year, and it couldn't have ended any sweeter and most predictable, right? Like, everyone just like punch a wall, please. Okay. Kyle Anderson, 4 for 7 from the floor, 8 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, does it all, a steal, 2 block shots. He's the pulse of this team. I think, like Edwards is like Ant is like the heart, but like Anderson's like the heartbeat, man. These stat lines don't really shock anyone. They're not like really, really, exciting to talk about, but like he does it all. I think this is a B performance for him.
Oh yeah, TC. I forgot you hate
Ant. TC.
You hate Ant. That's right.
Don't D-Ride Ant. He played like shit until the 4th.
They were the ones spamming stuff in the comments where I had to put him in timeout before.
Oh, D-Ride as in like Dick Ride?
Yeah.
You can spell out Dick, dude. We won't censor you.
Yeah, we won't censor you. But anyways, yeah, Kyle. I mean, probably. I mean, this is a weird thing, but it's like we expected this game out of Kyle, but at the same time we won, and he took a punch for it. So maybe it's a B.
Well, he used that. He didn't use that to like fall down on the sword, man. Like he used that to fuel our team up, man.
Yeah.
So I think even that itself is like a stat line that's like not recorded. Is a thing. Boost him up, maybe into an A.
We can. I'm down with putting him in an A. We can do it.
Let's make it happen. I mean, it's our tier list. And then finally, Taurean Prince, 36 minutes, 18 points, 3 rebounds, 0 assists. Hell yeah, because we don't want him passing the ball because he's so good with the ball in his hands. Plus 14 to alongside Nickeil Alexander-Walker. They were a cool 1-2 punch. I mean, although Nickeil didn't score, they were playing well together. I think Taurean Prince is an A.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with an A. Sorry, I'm just reading Wombat's comments.
Yeah. Also, I don't know what that meant with like messing up Jaden Girl. I don't know. Like it was Jaden Girl.
I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about Wombats. We gave up 4 firsts for Baguette Biombo. But
oh my god, because that's Gobert. Oh my god, Wombat.
That's a crazy comment, Wombat.
Crazy comment. And he quotes himself. Maybe someone else said that. Maybe someone else said that.
Oh, Wombat, that's funny. Yeah, no, I agree with an A. He just felt solid out. This is one of those games where, like, even though he's not scoring like he did in that New York Knicks game or whatever, I think it was the Knicks. It was still just like a steady hand out there, similar to Kyle Anderson, where it's like I just feel like there's a veteran, a grown up, and somebody just like make the right plays when it needs to happen. So
Yeah,
I totally agree.
I trust him making those shots, dude. I also like that insanely acrobatic lay-in, that transition layup.
That
so
was
cool.
Amazing.
And then that 3, that desperation 3 that went in was so good.
Yes.
We need a lot of that, and we require it now because we don't have anyone else to go to off the bench. You know?
Yeah, we really do.
Yeah. Before we get to the starters, man, like I'm sombering down a little bit. It took us like half an hour to get started in the show because we were so hyper.
We were crazy.
We were insane. This had so many storylines, so many layers to this game, and the starters are gonna have to play 40 minutes come Tuesday or Wednesday. You know, like that's gonna be guaranteed.
Mhm.
Whoever is starting in replace of Jaden, and what is Gobert gonna look like on whatever day that is? It's so what I don't know. It's so up in the air, man. Before we get to the starters, you know, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment. What the hell would you do with your right hand? And also, what do you think our chances are like with the news that's been revealed here about Jaden against the Lakers? The Lakers who were ahead of the Jazz by 3 points with like 2.5 minutes to go, and then they won by 11.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron hitting like 8 or so threes, and 80. Vando on Ant. Ooh, it's looking bad, my friends.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Mike Conley, 35 minutes, 5 for 11 from the floor, 17 points, 7 assists, a couple rebounds. Really shitty whistle on him, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Like I thought he got to the line a lot, which I thought was like very cool, and he pulled some like Ingram moves to get him to the line, but like. The fouls on him were just like nonsense.
Yes.
He only made 1 of 6 threes though. But a grade for Conley in 3, 2, 1. I give him a B.
Yeah, cool. I was on the fence between B and expected, but I think again, just having a veteran presence out there is very helpful in a game like this where you have your teammates punching each other. So, yeah.
Wombat has all the news. He's our spicy gossip queen here.
Oh my god!
Jaden's girlfriend before the game, and then there was talk around it. Apparently,
really
so funny. That's another layer of like getting under someone's skin. It's like getting to their girl and like DMing them. That's so.
That is crazy, but I mean, Jaden's girl on Twitter is like very pro Jaden, so like Jaden shouldn't have to worry about that.
Oh yeah, it's an Ingram. It's like
but yeah, no, it's that's interesting. I did not know that until just now.
Jaden McDaniels, 9 minutes, 1 field goal attempt. It was a 3. It was a miss. He had 1 rebound, 2 fouls, 1 steal, a turnover, 0 points. Jaden McDaniels, a grade for him in 3, 2, 1.
Bob Short.
I guess for those who don't know, how would you know? I don't know. Bob Short is just an old name in the Timberwolves lore that you shouldn't really need to know. Other than this team was moved to the city of Los Angeles. That was thanks to this guy. And then when we expanded the team, this team could have been moved again. Glenn Taylor saved it from being moved again. But just saying, like, fuck that guy. He just like did a dude a solid and got pennies and like a Lamborghini. You know, like so dumb.
Also, Bob Short is just an amazing name for this
Yeah.
contest.
Totally.
It's amazing.
I was about to like just
punch a wall
on Jaden gear, huh?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say punch a wall.
Yeah, I was about to splurge on some Jaden gear, but man,
I know
that is making me rethink who this guy is. Like, this guy has a short fuse, apparently.
Yeah,
man. Apparently, something. Let's go hit a wall, and my future in the NBA is in jeopardy.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It's like it's yeah, there's so many things to talk about, and we'll talk about this all in our off-season content. Subscribe for more. But you know, like, how is this going to affect his off-season? How is this going to affect him going into next season? You know, there's layers to this. This is the worst possible timing. We needed him for any potential long playoff run, and we don't have him now, and that is going to hurt us just so much. And
it's like it's gonna be a lot of mileage on Ant, man. Like, I remember when they like started to record miles of like how many miles people run during a game, and like it was like Steph and it was JJ Redick and it was like Zach LaVine and shit like that. It's gonna be Ant. Like, Ant's gonna be like chasing every player on defense and also command the ball on offense. It's gonna be crazy. Okay, Rudy Gobert, 13 minutes. He comes back for a second quarter stint apparently. 2 points, 3 rebounds, absolute dumpster level play from Rudy Gobert today. But do you have a grade? Yeah, I have a grade for him in 3, 2, 1. Bob Short.
Bob Short.
I don't know, it doesn't have a ring like Glenn Taylor, man.
It doesn't have the ring. This is just a one-time thing. But yeah, I mean, this is like we talked about it even before punching a teammate, by the way, closed fist, punching a teammate in the middle of a game. It's the stupidest thing. Pretend he didn't do that. He's still Bob Short. Like, he had such a terrible game. I mean, like, you're the one that's supposed to be able to contain Valanciunas. And I'm not saying Valanciunas went crazy, but like, you need to be getting all these rebounds. You need to be blocking shots. You need to be like, you cannot be triggered that much by a Kyle Anderson comment saying you need to get blocks. Like, that can't get you that frustrated. I don't know. That's just annoying to me. The more I think about this, the better the situation is for Gobert and Kyle Anderson specifically, because now they've both put pressure on each other to perform better. And hopefully in the next game or the next game, hopefully the next game, we just come out and it's like Gobert Gobzilla. Like, he is like what we really need is Kessler Edwards game. No, Walker Kessler game.
Walker Kessler.
We need a Walker Kessler-esque performance out of Rudy Gobert.
Oh no, game. That's what we're resorting down to.
Well, he's a better player. I don't know what to tell you. He's a better player in every way.
Oh, no.
And he's younger by many years. And not being paid $40, $50 million, whatever it is. So we need the Walker Kessler performance out of Rudy Gobert next game. Whenever
that means Anthony Davis, you're going to get shut down by the gobstopper himself.
Gobstopper. Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, hand it up. He's very hard to suck. Oh, blah, blah, blah.
Oh no!
Men do come. Gobert, travesty.
It was bad.
In a lot of ways, though, it kind of like made us play more to our strengths. Like, Cat was shooting threes. Slow-mo with the ball in his hands, also getting a lot of time on the court. You know, when like Cat was out, Slow-mo was our our savior, and so it just like gave us a lot of room to play with our like strongest players. But yeah, they were all gassed, and like Gobert does so much for us that's not recorded. Like Walker Kessler is going to have. I don't even know how he would be as a Timberwolf. Like he probably wouldn't have been the Walker Kessler as a Timberwolf that he has been on the Jazz. But just like he has a lot to learn too, and like Gobert does a lot of things that like basically are not recorded. In terms of like basically denying all even attempts, right? Like it's better to like not even get a shot off than it is to get a block shot, right? Like I don't know. I'm just saying. But yeah, we're gonna need something miraculous out of him next game because he better come back hard, right? Erect, as you said earlier.
I did not say erect.
Oh, man. Okay. Like, all right. So who do we have left? The two staples of this franchise: Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards. Let's go, Anthony Edwards.
Okay.
40 minutes. That's just nutty.
That is.
But he had to play all that time. 8 for 21. That's Andrew Wiggins right there. That's
bad. Honestly, that's just better than it felt. That's better than it felt. It felt.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. And at one point, he was just chucking. Like he was just shooting threes. He had like the only shots of the team. It was like insane. 3 for 9 from 3. 7 for 13 from the free throw line. That is 6 missed free throws.
Yeah. What on his last couple ones? Yeah, on his last couple ones, Grady's like Edwards is 5 of 11 from the line, and I was like, 5 of 11. That can't be possible.
Yeah.
Oh, so bad. But then he hit 2 of them. But either way, like that's awful.
However, he also had 8 turnovers to go along with those 6 missed
bad turnovers.
26 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 block shots, 4 steals.
That's
incredibly. Yeah. I don't know how to grade this player. I am not even sure what I'm about to say in like 5 seconds.
I think I know what I'm going to say.
A grade for our boy Anthony Edwards, who pulls it in the clutch. Miraculous top-tier play this season with that block on McCollum, the strip on Ingram, being able to play through adversity. A grade for our boy in 3, 2, 1.
B.
Yeah,
you were gonna say
because this is like a franchise worst performance on offense, like in the first half, and he pulled it together. Like, but he had insane. Like, even though Ingram popped off for 40, like a lot of that wasn't Ant's fault. Like, it's just Ingram being an absolute stud.
He's just crazy. Yeah,
and that's supposed to be Jaden's role, and Jaden was nowhere to be found. Right, so.
I think,
Ant plays this aggressive. Go ahead.
For me, it wasn't going to be expected. It was either going to be B or D for me because like I can't, but I couldn't give him a D just because you mentioned those plays. He had that block on McCollum. That alone just skyrockets your value for the game. I mean, that is a play-in save. I mean, not play-in saving, but 8th seed saving block. And then on the other end, the bad turnover, but then immediately gets it back and gets the muscles up to get the and one. That's crazy. He hit some big shots, very few, but in big moments. It certainly was not an A1. It certainly wasn't an A in my mind because there was just a lot of struggling going on. But but we said it happened. He made it happen. Go ahead.
Yeah, if he wasn't known for his offense, like this would have been an amazing performance, right? Like, like outstanding defense, lockdown D, aggressive physical D. That like you want to see out of every player. Like you really want to see that kind of desperation defense, aggressive defense from every player. And he played very, very into his role. But 8 turnovers just really tank his grade. Basically all those threes that he was just chucking early in the game. Those are basically fast breakaway points for New Orleans. Like those are just miscues. The ISO ball handling, ball hogging kills our offense, kills our flow, and you need Cat in those situations.
I think that the ISO basketball is acceptable if your shot is going, but his shot was not going, and he just continued to try to make it go, and it was like because that's playoff basketball to some extent. You have to have half court basketball, and you have to be able to beat somebody one on one. This is what Ant has talked about all season. He loves the playoffs because he can. It doesn't care. It doesn't matter what your game plan is. You're just beating somebody one on one. But tonight he wasn't beating anyone one on one for the first 30 minutes plus of the game,
Totally.
and it just takes away from the team.
Yeah. I'm ready for a rebound performance from him. For
And
our
he has
next game.
crazy rebounds though.
Yeah, well, crazy rebounds, but he's going to be guarded by Vando. I'm worried about that. I hope that Vando gets in foul trouble so he can pop off. That's going to be my one wish for the next game.
That would
it's
be
like
actually that could happen.
Ant,
One of those two things is going to happen. Ant is either going to go off and because of foul trouble on Vando, or Vando is going to shut him down completely. One of the two.
we hope it's the former. Okay, cool. It's someone who we talked about. I would say we barely talked about him tonight, but he is quite a storyline for tonight. Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah.
His dad was so hyped, and I was so hyped for him. He got like throwing shirts into the stands. Like that's just like
immediately after he's thrown.
Immediately after, it's so funny. Jordan got off her phone. Like that's so big time, man.
Yeah, she looked like, what happened?
What happened? 36 minutes, 10 for 19. Can we just stop and say 10 for 19 from the floor? It needs to be like 15 for 30. In games like this, he needs to just take over. He really does.
Yes.
And I think if the ball was in Conley's hands, I think it would have been more to Cat, but it was a lot of Ant ISO.
Ant really did try to take this game away from Cat, realistically.
Yeah, I felt that too. So 5 for 8 from 3. Dear God. Let's triple those numbers.
Yeah, at least. Like it needs to be more than that.
5 for 6 from free throws. I love that. I wish he went to the line more, but it's just he gets a bad whistle at times. 8 rebounds. It could have been more, but Ant was taking them. 5 fouls. That's just one little
Yep, and they were all
on his resume today.
They were all very cat-y fouls. Like there was one foul that I thought was unfair to him, but all the others were just like Cat being Cat, and then also seemingly attempting to get his 6th foul for many possessions in the crucial steps of the game. Like the 4th quarter, it seemed like he was like, "Give me that 6th foul. I need it." And he was luckily not called for a lot of things because the refs just stopped calling things for the last 6 minutes of the game.
Yeah,
like, there was so much contact on both ends, and they didn't call anything.
Kind of how we want the game we played. But okay, so then also good stuff on by Finch for taking him out, calming him down, resting him. But he wasn't really a factor in the closing seconds or minutes of this game. But his most crucial point in this game was the 2nd quarter and in the 4th quarter when no offense was to be found by any other player, and he just took over. That's the Towns I fucking love. Those threes, I could see that all day.
Yep.
I want him to win a 3-point shooting contest in LA. Let's make that happen right now.
Please.
30 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, doesn't matter. A grade for our boy Cat in 3, 2, 1. I'm giving this an A.
I am too. This was a good game.
Yeah.
You still had the Carlisms of like. Actually, I don't remember if there was any behind the back passes, but
there was a couple.
Was there? But there, like the fouls were a problem, and just the continued like carelessness around those fouls was a problem. But he hit huge shots. Like he brought us back into the game at a point when we needed it. And then Ant had to sit down for a little bit after Ant kind of did bring us more into the game, and then Cat was able to continue that momentum. That just that's what you need out of your star players, and it worked tonight. I'm happy for Cat because he, one thing about Cat is that I know that he feeds off of the energy of the crowd, just like Ant does too. But like Cat hasn't really had that many like crowd hype moments, and he got one tonight. Those threes, that like logo 3 that he hit, that was crazy. That was awesome.
He shut down any chances of New Orleans in that moment, just like out right there. Like it was so cool.
10 toes down.
Toes down. Yeah.
But
Crowd erupted, and that was such a feel good. I love that moment for him.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
I think that's good for him to have that kind of a moment, because I think one thing in the playoffs last year where he became a problem was I think he was searching and hunting for those moments specifically. And, there was only like one game against the Grizzlies where that really worked, where he came back and he was like doing his like cat and mean face the entire game. But which, oh my God, I forgot about that. But yeah, no, I can't recover.
What's up, Airway Art City? Just need Carl to be watch he is just a bucket. Well, that partially made sense to me, but he is just a bucket. I love this version of Cat. Like the double teams, I don't like the stalling of the offense. I don't like, but sometimes we just need someone to take over a game, and if that is how he gets himself going, we have to take the good with the bad. I think with him,
Yep.
And yeah, he feeds off of emotion. He feeds off of successive plays that go in his favor, like the blocks that he could get. He really goes for them. And then he sometimes gets out of position for those rebounds, like Larry Nance Jr. just takes his pocket even. However, I thought given the adversity today, also rises his game up too, because he's usually playing with Gobert. He's usually playing with others, and he gets a short end of a whistle in the third quarter in many ways, and he has to play with the 5 fouls. And he got to. And I think miraculous game. That's that fourth quarter, 9 points in a row. Solid as hell.
Yeah.
And that's the version of Cat that I can't wait to see again.
Mm-hmm. 100%. Oh, I didn't even put him in A.
No, you didn't even put Ant as a B.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, you're right. Too busy thinking about that game last year.
Yeah, totally. And you know what? What a crazy little situation. Garza was ineligible for today. He could have been used today. He could have been used.
He could have been
used.
used.
We could have absolutely needed him.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
Oh man.
Now we get to look forward to CryptoCom, the Crypt.
The Crypt.
And do you know anything about this game?
Yes, I do. Let me see. Lakers, Timberwolves. It is going to be on the 11th. I can't find it now. There was a
Tuesday at 7.
Yeah, at 7. No, at 9 Central. At least that's what I saw. I saw something at Central.
It is 9 Central.
So that's crazy. Man. Yeah, I can't find it now. But yeah, 9 Central. And we'll be there after the game, whatever happens. Man, there's just, I guess, initial thoughts on what you think was going to happen in this game. I think you're kind of leaning one way.
Well, after the Jaden news,
yeah,
I'm leaning almost like 99% one way. Interesting question from Godfrey. Does Gobert play? Oh, do you want Gobert to play Tuesday? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I require Gobert to play. I hope that we can, scuff whatever was happening in the butt and put out any sort of ill will towards each other right away. As Kyle Slomo said, like we're grown men. We can get through it. We're over it. And as athletes tend to just get over shit. We tend to like be in our feelings, but they get over that shit. Apparently, we need someone to stop AD, and Gobert needs to play a significant role in that. He needs to have a rebound-like performance from tonight. The matchups are AD versus Gobert, LeBron versus Ant, and D'Lo and Conley. To me,
that's fun.
What about you?
I don't. This is foolish. This is very foolish of me. I think we win. I think we win at not Staples, the Crypt. I think we win because this Lakers team, although they've been hot lately and they have been playing well, LeBron is looking very good right now. Austin Reeves, I know people are kind of like hating on him right now, but he truly has been playing really good. he gets some phantom foul calls and does some really gross stuff to get those foul calls. But even without that, he is still a very good player. And as we've learned from last season, a lot will ride on if it's a D'Lo game. D'Lo is on or off. Beasley's on or off. Vando's fouling or not. That will dictate a lot of their game. I think the Timberwolves will come more to play in the beginning of the game on a road game at the Crypt. So I feel like that gives me more confidence. I think we're going to come out strong in the beginning. It'll be the opposite of this game. Now, I hope it's not the opposite in the result, but this is by me saying that I think that the Timberwolves are going to win. That does not mean that I don't think it's possible that the Lakers could win. I think this is a pretty close matchup. Depending on how well, without Jaden, it really, really hurts. And if we don't have Gobert, we're just playing with a totally different team that we've played with all year. So that would really throw things off. It seems like Gobert is going to play, given the players' comments, John Krasinski, all that kind of stuff. But there's just a lot to really. There's too many factors in it for me to give you like a perfect answer. The question that I asked you, but TC probably has a very valid point in that the refs won't allow the Timberwolves to win. What is the Lakers have the highest differential in free throws this season by 10 miles, not
10 miles.
10 miles. So it is likely to be a foul fest. We have to play our absolute best. Ant has to be on. Cat has to be on. And Rudy, if he's playing, has to be the defensive player
of the year.
He has to be the defensive player of the year.
Yeah, and then TP and Kyle have to shine. Like, really, that's has to happen. And Conley has to offset whatever output D'Lo has. Like, actually, Vando is probably the person of interest, the most that I'm thinking about right now. Is if Vando gets in foul trouble, I think we have a better chance because their bench is shit. Their bench is like nothing. They have like, Dennis Schroeder, who I think is another like wild card in all of this.
He can play. Yeah, he can play well.
Yeah, but also another point that you said, if it's close, you like our chances. I don't. I think that's the opposite. I think we need to blow this team out for us to have like a really good chance. We need to have like a really strong 40-point first quarter, man. I really think so.
Yeah, we do need to have a strong quarter. I don't remember even saying that. So because I agree with you, I don't want a close game because maybe
I heard something
because it will turn into a foul fest at that point, and then foul fest
it's not on our side.
Yeah, so that I don't want. Yeah, and that's why I do think that if we that's where I'm leaning right now is that we come out strong in the first quarter, and then we just have to learn and see if we are a better team at holding leads. That would be my hope. But obviously I have no idea. And then, okay, hypothetically, let's just say we lose to the Lakers. Certainly very possible. We're playing away at the Lakers. So then we have a play-in game, another play-in game at Target Center versus either the Pelicans or the Oklahoma City Thunder. Likely the Pelicans. In a rematch of this exact game. And, at first, I liked the thought of being in the 8th seed. That made me feel okay because I'm like, we'll win 1 to 2 games. The fact that it's against the Pelicans again concerns me. I don't love that because the Pelicans are going to be looking for revenge and also punching a ticket to the actual playoffs. So if it's the Pelicans, how do you feel about that game?
Yeah. Leading into that question is a great question is who's guarding LeBron, and I think it's going to be Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Anderson, all 3 of them, even a splash of Cat. If we lose, it's probably going to happen. Like expectations are now out the window because we're dealt this hand.
Yeah, we have
if we play the Oklahoma City Thunder, I like our chances. However, I don't even know who's on their team. For real. I don't know who's going to pop off. And I know they have Lou Dort, and Lou Dort is a Ant stopper. Your question is, how do you feel about our chances against New Orleans in a kind of revenge game from them? I don't think Ingram pops off for 42 again. I also think I like our chances at home more than away. And I think the Gobert that we missed in this game will be the Gobert that we get in that game. So I think he'll be way more proactive. I think Conley will have like an MVP-like game because he is so much more Conley. He's more Mike Conley when Gobert's out there than when he's not, you know? So I like our chances to get into the playoffs more so than to like beat the Lakers. However, Jaden really put a wrinkle into that. You know, Jaden has really put a wrinkle into that. And
he,
as Gerald said, it's basically like watching a Marvel movie.
Yeah, Jaden really has put us in such a terrible spot, and he, you know, I like this is, I guess, maybe unfair to say, but like he owes us the team big time next year. He just does. Like, you can't do this to your team when we're going into the playoffs. You can't ruin this like this. He just owes everyone like a huge season next year. He just does, you know? And if it's not, like, it's just so bad. It's just such a bad thing for him to do.
Yeah.
But
I absolutely love and adore this comment from you, Gerald. There's so many layers to this comment. This should be like a viral tweet, but it probably won't because you know it's not from LA. So, yeah, dude, TC is probably right. Like, what the hell just happened, man?
like this legit hurts his value in so many ways because this shows that he's got this like temperament that can literally hurt himself after being called for 2 fouls in a game. You're like, that's just crazy.
Dude, game 6 in Memphis, he was like the MVP of that game.
Yeah.
Cat had foul trouble. Ant didn't have it going. Tilo, whatever the fuck he was doing.
Yeah.
He was a non-factor all series. Like he was benched in that game, you know? And it was Jordan McLaughlin, like a 3 from Ant in the corner just to like give us ourselves a chance, you know? And like 29, 31 points from Jaden. He can be our second option or like, you know, 2B or third option moving forward. But like, dude, I don't know. And like, I want to pay him as much as he's earned, as much as he's worth, honestly. But like, I don't know. This really hurts.
That does hurt his value. So that's annoying. But yeah, so right now you're leaning towards us making the playoffs in general, not the 7 or 8.
I think I'm giving ourselves like an 80% chance to make the playoffs. And I think the Lakers game is going to be like a 90%. I don't want to be like riding this fucking hot air shit like the helium balloon here that I feel like, man, Ant and Cat are going to pop off. But Cat is a nightmare for LA.
Yeah.
They have nothing to stop him. If he plays like an A1 player, the franchise player that he has been brought up to be, they have nothing to stop him. And I cannot wait to see that. They're going to have to like put William Gabriel and Anthony Davis out there, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's what's gonna happen because LeBron's not stopping Cat. Ant, if Vando gets in foul trouble, dude, we could win that game. Like if those situations happen,
I think
pops off and Vando gets in foul trouble, we can win that game in LA. I don't care. And on a TNT game, Kevin Harlan bringing back the vibes of Minnesota, we could totally win that game. But I'm just being a little bit realistic and tempering my lofty rose-colored glasses here. So I think we are like almost a lock for the playoffs, but let's take it game by game, man. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it really does have to be game by game because obviously if we win, so obviously if we win on Tuesday, then we're in. But and then we would play Memphis then, right? Memphis is officially the 2 seed.
If we win, yeah, we'd play Memphis, and oh my god, we don't have the John Morant stopper.
There's so many levels to this. I hate this. I hate
you, Jaden McDaniels.
God, it just really does ruin the whole postseason. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I just looked at the Warriors Blazers score, the final, 157 to 101. Wow,
157.
That's way up there.
By the way, how did we get to 151? Man, that is insane. Our team does not.
That is crazy.
Produce that many points, but we did that.
And then if we go up against, honestly, it almost makes more sense for us. I'm not saying to lose on purpose, of course, but it almost makes more sense for us to go up against Denver, because Denver, the stopper the Jokic stopper we need is Rudy Gobert, and it's not going to be Jaden McDaniels as much. Like obviously we need a player like Jaden and his defense out there, but it's just not to the level. Like it's not the same as if we're going up against John Morant. So yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting. I don't know. There's just this part of me that thinks that we're going to beat the Lakers because today they were a beatable team and they needed to win. The Jazz almost beat them with none of their starters.
Chris Dunn and some other
Chris
random
Dunn
hero.
almost had a 30-point triple-double. Like,
let's get him on the offseason.
That's crazy. So that kind of stuff can happen. I think the Lakers play at the same level every night and they just squeak by sometimes. And if we can just get above that same level that they play at every night, like we need to have an on game. We just need to have an on game, and then we will beat them, I think. But I do think that you are right in saying that if we get if we get Vando in foul trouble, that changes the whole dynamic of the game, and that could be great. So, yeah, Godfrey, is any chance that Gobert is suspended? I think it is 0 chance. Because they've already talked about it as a team. The league's not going to do anything. The team would be doing nothing, and the team's not going to suspend their player going into the playoffs. Now, if this were not this time of the year, if this was a regular season, I think there's a high
probability, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But they're not going to do that right now. He's just too needed. So, yeah. Well,
my heart's still beating from that game. I just want to say. It's calmed down a little bit, but like I cannot believe we pulled it out with the cards that we were dealt. We were dealt the 2-7 offsuit, and we just played it through. That's Gobert's numbers, by the way. And Ant had a miserable offensive output, but like still pulled it together. Yeah. And that's like grit, man. That's grind. That is the strength of a leader that I want leading our team. I definitely think. Cat was deferring a bit. I want him to be as aggressive as possible in set shots, in simple plays, no stray anything. I think we could kill the Lakers if we follow that kind of like 1, 2, 3 principles of this game. And a lot of dosage of TP and slow-mo. I like our chances, but the Jaded Wrench and the Vando, what does Vando do to Ant is going to be like the biggest storyline for me. And if foul trouble is an issue, if the refs have a grasp on this fucking game, we are done for.
Oh, we are done for there. I am having a vision that we blow this game out. I am having a vision that we win by 20. This is probably stupid. Clip it because we're probably going to get beat back. But I am just having a good feeling right now. That may change over the days, but right now I do have a good feeling against the Lakers. Cool. This is side note for anybody that's not in the Discord. Gerald is rewatching the game right now and said just started the second quarter. I'm shocked we won this game. It's pretty crazy, and just like that, perfect timing. Your camera's gone.
My camera freaks out,
but that's okay because we are at the end. So, Timberwolves play apparently Tuesday night. We will be here. It's a late one, and we'll probably be up late talking about it, regardless of the outcome. If the Timberwolves win, we'll be discussing the matchups between our friends, the Memphis Grizzlies, in the same exact 2-7 matchup. And if we lose, we will be game planning for either the Pelicans or, I guess, Oklahoma City Thunder could surprise us. It's not impossible. So, that would be ideal. But anyways, I appreciate you all checking in, subscribing if you haven't already, liking the stream if you haven't already, joining the Discord if you haven't already. And what are they supposed to leave a comment on this video about?
What would you do with your right hand?
Man, I'm excited to see those replies.
We got a Gobert punch. We got a Jaden punch.
Yep.
And we had a cat swishing 3 threes.
But cool. 42 wins. We hit 42 wins.
We hit it. Gerald, we did it.
Gerald, we can celebrate. I appreciate you, TC. That's a nice comment. I appreciate that. Beat LA is right, Godfrey.
Yes. Let's
Beat
go.
LA. We will see you all Tuesday night. Intro as the outro. See ya.